Our beautiful little girl, Jess, our teeny weeny, so small, yet so incredibly mighty. From the moment she entered this world, Jess has been a fighter. Diagnosed with Wolff-Hirschhorn syndrome at just 6 weeks old, this rare genetic condition, caused by missing genes on chromosome 4, only added to the strength she had already begun to show. Even before her arrival, we were warned during my pregnancy that she was small, hovering on the 5th centile. But Jess had other plans. When she made her grand entrance, she weighed a mere 3 lb 6 ounces, right on the 0 centile line. We faced fears of her heart rate dropping and the possibility of an emergency C-section. Yet our brave girl came into the world naturally, a testament to her indomitable spirit. What we didn't yet know was that Jess was also born with a congenital heart defect. At just 8 months old, weighing less than 10 pounds, she underwent open heart surgery to repair both a PDA and an SD defect. She was so fragile, barely taking an ounce of milk every 2 hours, most of it through an NG tube. We clung to hope that this surgery would help her grow stronger, and for a moment, it did. Within just 2 days, she defied the odds and came off life support, earlier than anyone expected. But then, that night changed everything. Jess suffered a devastating seizure that lasted over an hour. We watched helplessly as the medical team struggled to regain control. It was a moment that felt like an eternity, and we nearly lost her. When I was finally able to touch my baby girl again, her tiny body was ice cold, a stark reminder of the fragility of life. Days later, we learned she had also suffered a stroke, impacting her sight and taking away her ability to feed from a bottle. And yet, just 2 days later, she surprised us all. She woke up smiling, a radiant light piercing through the darkness. Even in her struggle, she fought to pull her tubes out, a feisty spirit shining through her small frame. That was our Jess, resilient, loving, and full of life, teaching us every day the true meaning of strength and hope. In the wake of her struggles, the weight of sorrow pressed heavily upon us. Each seizure, lasting an agonizing hour or more, was a battle fought with unyielding courage, her small frame trembling, yet a smile etched on her face, defying the torment within. But beneath that brave exterior, her little body was in turmoil. Just 2 or 3 ounces of milk every 3 hours, a meager intake for a child nearing 2 years old. It was heartbreaking to witness her fight against hunger, knowing that any attempt to push beyond that limit would only lead to sickness, robbing her of the precious nutrients she desperately needed. I reached out to the hospital, desperately seeking solutions, and they suggested a PEG. After extensive research and discussions with her caregivers, I felt a fundoplication was the answer, a procedure designed to tighten the top of her stomach, preventing the agony of vomiting while allowing it to stretch to accommodate more fluids. They believed in this plan, yet when it came time for action, they denied the possibility of performing both surgeries together, leaving us in a state of uncertainty. The PEG didn't work, as I already knew my poor girl had to go through more. The fundoplication was scheduled, a procedure that could have been executed months prior had they only listened. November 5, 2019, dawned with a flicker of hope. They assured us everything had gone well, but the relief was fleeting. Jess was mostly asleep, wrapped in a blanket of post-surgery haze. And yet, as the sun rose the next day, a fever spiked within her, a gut feeling, an instinct honed through countless trials, whispered that something was amiss. But we clung to the thought that she was in the best place possible, surrounded by the expertise of the hospital staff. Still, the shadows of doubt loomed large, and the heaviness in my heart grew, echoing the pain of watching her fight so valiantly against the odds. On November 7th, just 2 days later, was a moment that would forever change our lives. I watched in horror as her lips turned a haunting shade of blue, a signal that sent chills through my very soul. In a panic, I called for help, and within moments, the room was filled with the hurried footsteps of doctors and nurses, their faces blurring together in a desperate race against time. They whisked her away to the PICU, and with each passing second, I felt her slipping through my fingers like grains of sand, wishing I could freeze time, just to hold her a little longer. We were faced with an unimaginable choice: to let her go peacefully in our arms or to fight for her life in the sterile, cold operating room. We chose to fight. This was Jess, our fierce little warrior. Surely, she would conquer this battle. But then, tragedy struck. Not long after she was on that operating table, the news came crashing down, an internal bleed so severe it robbed her of the chance to live. My beautiful angel's heart, once filled with laughter and love, ceased to beat, leaving mine shattered into countless fragments. In the surgery, they had inadvertently clipped her left liver lobe. For 2 agonizing days, she bled internally, her suffering hidden from us, a silent agony that I can hardly bear to imagine. If only she had shown signs, if only she had screamed, anything to alert us. But there was nothing. After all she had endured, all the courage she had shown, it was one surgery, one tragic complication that took her from us far too soon. I replay the events over and over in my mind, haunted by the what-ifs that linger like a dark shadow. What if we had made a different choice? What if that operation in April had have been combined? Would this not have happened? The weight of these questions is a burden I will carry for the rest of my days. Jess broke our hearts that day, and life has never felt the same since. Yet, in her absence, she also filled our lives with an immeasurable love, a light so pure and powerful that it continues to shine brightly, even in her absence. In her memory, we carry stickers with us everywhere, sharing her story, ensuring that her spirit lives on. Your acknowledgement means everything to us as we honor our incredible star. We love you eternally, Jess, our beautiful teeny weeny girl, small but truly mighty.
Right, you ready? You ready, Bobby? Is that funny? Is that funny? Lulu. What'd she do, you, Lulu? What'd she do, boo boo? Ooh. She's got a Pennywise flick going on again.
She's got the same hairline as Pennywise.
Hey, Pennywise!
What are they calling you? What?
She's trying to run away.
You can say anything.
Go on. Hello. Look, they got your frog legs back. They're freedom. They're freedom.